everyone. Welcome to Unlocking Your Truth with Dr. Leslie and Corey.
Hello.
Unlocking Your Truth is a radio show and podcast. It is a talk show, and we broadcast on 101.7 FM across the Fraser Valley from the unceded territory of the Stolo Nation. And you can also catch the show on all major podcasting platforms and also on my website, drlesliephillips.com.
Yes, you can.
So every week we have a different discussion topic under the umbrella of metaphysics and spirituality. And this week we have a topic we've not spoken about for a while, which is manifestation. So we're asking the question, are all your desires fulfilled? Are you a talented manifestor? Do you manage to attract abundance into your life? Or not? So let's explore this topic together, listeners. And so, are all your desires fulfilled? So one good way to look at that is to think about the coaching wheel. I don't know if everyone's familiar with what a coaching wheel is, but it's basically a wheel with many segments, and each segment is a different aspect of your life. So one of the segments would be career. Another one would be family, friendships, spirituality, health and well-being, for example. So all the different areas in your life. And I think there's about 10 or 12 different ones. And to sit and contemplate or meditate on each of those areas. How fulfilled do I feel in the area of my career? How fulfilled do I feel in the area of my relationships? How fulfilled am I when it comes to my spiritual growth, my personal growth, and so on? And if you do that, you'll be able to break your life down by those different areas, and you will see that perhaps in some areas you generally feel quite fulfilled, but in other areas there's some work for you to do, because life is not feeling as wonderful as you would hope in that particular area. And of course, to know if your desires are fulfilled, you kind of have to know what your desires are in the first place. If you don't know what they are, then how can you ask for them, right? So step one is actually, what do we want? And one of the reasons I suggested the idea of the coaching wheel, is because we can get out of date with our desires. What you wanted to create when you were 6 years old might have been a white pony, you know, or an action man figure or something. And now, at however age you are as an adult, obviously, well, maybe not so obviously, you might still want an action man or a white pony, but maybe you don't. So, different kind of action man. So we need to be in present time with our desires, and we can have things that we wished for in the past that are no longer relevant, that we no longer want. And yet we still could have energy invested in that thing. So it's a really good idea to pull your energy out of past time desires so that you can focus it on what you want in the present moment.
I didn't know asking for a pony was still allowable at this point in my life.
I think it is. I think it is. If you want one.
Too bad my birthday just passed.
Yes. And, you know, another thing that's really common, talking on the subject of knowing what you want, is, and I think it's actually especially common in women, is that that a person can be so focused on caring for others, on pleasing others, on prioritizing the needs of other people in your life, whether it's your parents, your children, your partner, and so on, that all your energy is taken up in that. And I've met lots of women over the years, including myself at one point, where it's a completely foreign concept. What, you mean I have needs? You mean that I actually have, there are things that I can actually want things and have them? And it's not all about everybody else. And yes, of course you do. And it's not all about everybody else. But if that's where your energy is tied up, then you can be completely out of balance and out of touch with yourself and completely unaware of your own needs. So you need to know what you want to ask for. And to do that, you need a little bit of focus on yourself, and you need to be in present time with yourself. And then once you do know what it is that you want, it's important to actually ask for them and believe that you can have them. And so a great way there are different ways that you can ask for what you want. You could write it down in a list. You could use a visualization technique to visualize it, and so on. I have a great manifestation course, and a lot of what we do in it is visualization techniques and energizing our visualizations to make them more energized so that they're more powerful. All right, so be certain about what you want, be in present time with your desires, and ask for what you need. Step 1.
And be in present time is, I don't know if you gave an example of it or not.
Or the pony.
No, but I mean, be in
Actually,
present time isn't being in present times stating it that it's real, it is happening at this time.
what I mean by being in present time is that we can have all sorts of energy that's in the past hanging around in our energy field. And so to let go of past ideas of past creations that are no longer relevant. Are you imagining that your energy could be tied up in the future as well?
Well, yeah, actually. So as opposed to, I hope I get a pony one day, like.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So that what you just said is in a way keeping yourself stuck in, I don't have it, but I hope I get it one day. I don't have it, but I hope I get it one day. But you could also be projecting yourself into the future. And if you do that, then you are diluting your energy. You need to be present in the body to because your body is the point of power. It's from your body that you are radiating, that you are magnetizing. So if you're not in the body and you're in the future, then it's not actually going to help manifest this thing into your experience in your life.
Yeah.
And
so it behooves us to say, I have a pony and I love it.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Or I have this and I'm enjoying it. Or I have this and it's working out really well for me.
Yes, and feeling exactly how you are going to feel, exactly how you feel in the situation where you have a pony.
Good point. It's not just saying it, it's actually feeling it.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's being the vibration of it, which brings me in a way to step 2. Be the vibration of what you want, right? Because you create your reality from your energy state, and being in a low vibrational state will create a reality that you do not prefer. Being in a high vibrational state will help you to align with your higher being, and you will feel better. And because you attract what you are, you're going to attract more high vibration situations and people and things into your life. So your emotions are part of your overall vibration. So you have an energy field, which is made up of different things, but one of them is your emotional energy. And so by developing your awareness of your emotions on a daily basis, on an hourly basis, on a minute by minute basis, monitor what is your vibrational state, what is your emotional state. Because you can consciously shift out of the negative low vibration emotions like fear and anger to depression and joy and appreciation and love, and out of depression to joy. But if you're unaware of how you're feeling, if you're not monitoring that, how do you know what is my overall vibrational, I don't know why I want to use the word escrow. What's my overall vibrational escrow? Am I mostly high vibration emotions, or am I more low vibration emotions? So start to be aware of that, folks, because those emotional vibrations are having an impact on your ability to manifest. Yes, Corey.
Two quick points. The first one, Jeanette, who is new to the show, first time, says, "Hello, my first time joining live. Haha, I just bought a horse 3 days ago after I put it out to the universe." And it's not white, it's black.
Isn't that funny why I thought of that example?
Yeah. And Najeri says, "How do you activate the vibration you have not experienced? How do you activate the vibration you have not experienced without going in the past for reference?"
How do you vibrate? How do you activate a vibration you have not experienced without going into the past? That's a bit of an oxymoron. If you've not experienced it, then why is it in your past?
Yeah.
How do you activate?
Let's say, how do you activate the vibration without going into the past for reference?
Well, so there's such a thing as an emotional guidance, and think of an emotional scale like a musical scale, right? And at the bottom end is fear, and at the higher end is love, and then there's all the different human emotions in between. So and that repertoire of human emotions belongs to all of us. We've all felt fear, we've all felt love. And so what I might suggest is, let's say you are wanting to manifest a relationship, but you haven't had one in a long time, so you've almost forgotten what does that feel like. But in what you're asking for, perhaps you want a relationship because you want to feel love, you want to feel joy, you want to feel a sense of companionship, you want to experience more joy, more laughter in your life. And so if you go for those feelings and feel yourself into the state of those feelings, right? The way that you imagine you would feel if you had the thing that you're asking for. And if you're feeling sad because you don't have the relationship, we'll recognize that and say, oh, I'm sad, I don't have a relationship. I think a relationship would make me feel happy. And then the trick is, okay, well, I know what happiness feels like, and I choose to feel happy now, because then you're in the vibration that attracts happy. So part of this is recognizing your emotions, being able to consciously shift your emotions. So managing your vibration into a state that is an attraction point for what you're asking for. And so you don't have to have experience the specific thing. You just need to be able to feel the way you want to feel when you have it. So
Yeah,
that makes sense.
if I really want $10 million, I don't know what that feels like because I've never had $10 million, but I can take a pretty good guess at what that feels like. And so to me, that's what I would feel. So I guess the old adage is fake it till you make it.
Yeah. So talking about vibration, of course, that your emotions are not the only part of what makes up your vibrational field. You have a mental aspect as well. You think thoughts, and sometimes you think dark and gloomy thoughts, and sometimes you think light and fluffy thoughts, right? But whenever you think a thought, you're putting out energy. Thoughts transmit energy. So if you're feeling in a dark and gloomy state, you're transmitting a depressed energy frequency. And that's you saying, darkness and depression, that's my friend, and the universe will bring more of that to you. So if you're thinking dark, depressing thoughts, my life sucks, it's not turned out the way I wanted, I'm not good enough, I'm unworthy, nobody loves me, and you think thoughts like that over and over again on a daily basis, well, it's no wonder that that things that you're wanting are not showing up in your life, right? Because the law of attraction says you're going to get back whatever it is that you're putting out. So manifesting what you want is a lot easier if you are transmitting a positive signal. So you can change your life by monitoring your thought patterns, being conscious of your thoughts and your thought patterns, and changing negative thinking. Yes, Corey. Oh, is it time? Oh, everybody, we've enjoyed talking about so much about manifestation that we almost missed our time for a break. We'll be back in the next few minutes. Welcome back, everybody. You're listening to Unlocking Your Truth with Dr. Leslie and Corey, and tonight talking about manifestation. We talked about how it's important to know what it is what you want and ask for what you want, and also to manage your vibration. And two of the ingredients that contribute to your vibration is your emotional state and the thoughts that you keep on thinking. And so to eliminate sabotaging, limiting thoughts and transform negative into positive thinking is going to help you with your manifestation. So talking about thoughts, let's go on to the thoughts that you just keep on thinking, which are called beliefs.
I've never heard it put that way.
Core beliefs, which are thoughts that we keep on thinking over and over again. Really, that's all it is. You know, we believe these beliefs so much, don't we? But actually, they're just a thought. They're just an energy construct. It's a foundation stone of your life that you're operating from, but those foundation stones can be smashed and replaced with different ones.
That's really interesting, because that puts a whole different light on beliefs. Because when people say my beliefs, it's a strong blah blah, but all it is a thought pattern that you have that you have on a regular basis. Very interesting. So easy enough to change.
Yes, well, one would hope so. But it's just a loop, a pattern that's going round and round. So clear limiting beliefs, and of course, some of our beliefs are not even our own. We're given them. We're given them by our parents, by our teachers, by our friends, by our peers, by our culture, by our religion, or by politics, all different things feeding us, what we should believe all the time. And so many of the beliefs in your energy system are probably not even your own beliefs. So we need to examine our beliefs. So yeah, we need to examine our beliefs and say, is this truly my belief or not? And then when we got our beliefs, then we need to say, okay, well, this is my belief, but is it a limiting belief? Is it doing me any good to believe that I can't create what I want? Oh, no, it's not doing me any good. And so I need to change the belief that I can't create what I want to the belief that I can create what I want. So you can be really good at visualizations and manifestation techniques, but if you don't believe you can have it, or you don't believe you deserve it, or you believe money runs through my fingers like water, then you're still not going to be the most successful manifestor in the world. So to successfully create your reality, you need to eliminate doubt. Because the more you doubt yourself and your ability to manifest, the more that keeps what you're wanting to manifest at bay, at arm's distance from you. It will take much longer the more you doubt for your manifestation to be created. And another common thing is that to blame other people, right? I believe it's your fault and it's your fault and it's your fault that my life isn't going the way that I want it. And you're giving away your power if you do that, and you're not believing in yourself and your own power to manifest if you do that.
I think a big one right now is, after we've gone through this COVID thing and everything, is blaming the world, blaming a larger aspect of our reality to, so many people are saying, oh, I couldn't do anything all year because of this COVID, because of the government telling me I couldn't do this or didn't do that. And it's not true. I mean, there's so many things you could do without, with regards to not believing. I lost my train of thought there.
Well, I mean, actually, you bring up a good point, because we've been talking so far, like we're talking about the individual manifestor, but of course, we're all on this planet together, and through our mass consciousness, we create our mass reality. And I'm a big proponent of, I guess you would call it positive thinking, which is, where do you want your energy to flow? Because in the example of the pandemic and the war in the Ukraine and all of those things, you could believe in death and destruction, and that humanity can't ever be redeemed. We're bad and evil to our core. We will always do these things. It's dreadful what these people are doing, but I'm powerless to do it. You could have all that and feed that into the machine. And then your energy is going to support the continued creation of that. Or you could look on the bright side of everything. Hey, I got to spend more time at home. I got to meditate. I did my garden. I baked bread, yes, things are getting polarized, but that's a good sign, because that means that we are creating a new reality, and it's just that things are being polarized as that process is happening. So you can frame things in a completely different way, and whatever way you are framing it, your energy is contributing to the whole. So if you're seeing things that you are not liking in the world, do not lend your energy to feeding more of that. Instead, focus on perceiving the world that you would like to see, the world that you would like to move into, and live as though you already are. So transform your beliefs, break down old belief structures, and be in a state of flow and clear what isn't you if you've picked up beliefs from other people.
I think I'm thinking about an experience I had where I was sitting in the audience and there was a raffle and we each had one ticket and something a prize came up. I didn't even know what the prize was. And I just knew without a shadow of a doubt that that was my prize. And I actually stood up before they started saying the number and I won. I think a lot of people have never had that much strength in a belief about manifestation. It's very difficult. Like I'm a good manifester, but it's very difficult to hold on to that strength of a belief in an instant, and have it continue.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk a little bit about a bit more about the how to. So what can we do to manifest? One of the things that we can do is have a manifestation guide. So in my manifesting course, we have a whole module on attracting a manifestation guide and working with the manifestation guide, because the guide can help you to manage your energy. It can prompt you when your energy is low. It can give you healings, and it can also help orchestrate the coming together and the synchronicities of bringing the people and the circumstances to help you create what you want. We can visualize and energize our creations. I talked a little bit about that earlier, that so you can out picture your reality. We talked about how our emotions are broadcasting, our thoughts and our beliefs are broadcasting, but we can also broadcast in picture form through a visualization, visualizing precisely what it is that we're looking to create. And we can also put within the picture the positive energy and emotions of how we expect to feel. We can feed it with energy. We can energize it. We can make it really, really, really bright, and then release that to the universe. And it's like ordering a pizza. At some point, the universe can't help but deliver that back to you because you have transmitted it. You've sent out that signal. Then there is also a way that we can magnetize. So think about your heart chakra and how that's the center of your affinity. And your affinity is what you're attracted to, what you really want. People your passion that you're drawn in the direction of looking for. So you can magnetize and attract what it is that you want by working with your certain energy centers. And we've talked a little bit already about synchronicity and radiating and resonating, but being the vibration of what you are asking for makes it more likely that it will appear in your reality. So like we were saying before, if you focus on wanting something in the future because you don't have it now, it's not going to work. Or if you doubt you can have it because you never had it in the past, then you're just going to perpetuate not having it. But if you can feel like you do have what you want, then the universe is going to sync up with that. And you're going to be attracting those possibilities to yourself. And
Excellent.
so I think that that's a good place to stop and turn it over to the listeners' questions. But again, I'll just mention that I have a fantastic manifestation course, and you might post that in the chat, Corey. You can find that. And I've talked about some of the things that are in that course, but we also go into some very, very advanced manifestation techniques, consciously jumping timelines, parallel realities, quantum manifesting, and so on. Working with in higher dimensions of reality in order to manifest in this dimension of reality. So it's a really, really, what should we call it? Well, it will help you become a manifestation master. How about that? Now, I don't know when it's on my schedule to teach that course, by the way. It's funny, I'm talking about it. I'm not necessarily, it's not about to start next week, but if you do go to drlesliephillips.com and you go to the tab that is...
I'm putting it on right now.
Yeah, but if you go to the tab that's called Psychic Training as well, you can download the course catalog, which gives you will give you the next date for that course.
Yeah. The one thing that we didn't talk about was recognition. I think a lot of people, when they're trying to manifest things and setting intentions, they set a specific intention, and something comes to them, but not quite as they saw. In other words, they want a real car really bad, and they like it was beautiful, and they want to be able to travel, and all of a sudden somebody offers them a car, but it's just not their favorite color, and they don't really notice it that somebody's actually offering them a car. They miss the cue.
Yeah, that exactly, that we need to be able to recognize our creations when they arrive on our doorstep, and they may not always look exactly like you imagined that they would, but they will show up in the form that is what you need the most.
Yeah. Don't forget to keep your eyes open and your heart open when that happens. Okay, time for questions. And if everybody's enjoying the show tonight, please give us a like, whether you're on Facebook or on YouTube. And we do have a question. So questions don't have to be on manifestation necessarily, but whatever you'd like. And so let's go to our first question again from Jeanette. And Jeanette is again our first time on board. And she says, I have a question. She said, hi, Dr. Leslie, Jeanette. I've started using a pendulum and used it to guide my decision to get the horse. With questions I asked the pendulum, I find it seems right, but it was recently wrong about something that ended up happening. I also feel like I'm controlling its movement with my mind at times. Are you able to see what's going on with the pendulum? Is it useful? Is it a useful tool? Is it a useful tool to see what we're manifesting?
Pendulum can be a useful tool. I find it helpful for things like dietary questions. Is this food appropriate for my body? So I'll take a look at but I think it can also be something that is helpful to people because it's a tangible thing, It's like you're watching the pendulum move in a certain way. So it feels like, proof of some kind. So let's take a look at you and your pendulum and yeah, so I think it can be helpful to know how neutral you are about whatever question you're asking. So one way to be neutral is to be in the center of your head. And again, there is a free meditation on my website, and Corey can post it in the chat, where it teaches you grounding and centering. So grounding will help you stabilize your energy, and centering will help you be neutral. Because I'm seeing that depending on the question that you're asking, you're not always neutral. You have maybe an unconscious desire for it to go one way or the other. So I am seeing that in some cases, it's almost like your energy is, I don't know how to describe it, but it's sort of doing this. It's sort of moving forward into the idea of the creation. So if you can just be as neutral as you possibly can, with no preconceived idea about what answer is going to come up, then that might be helpful for you not to be manipulating the pendulum in any way. And I assume that you, we have to go to a break, folks. So we'll see you in a few minutes. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Unlocking Your Truth with Dr. Leslie and with Corey. Tonight's topic is manifestation. And it's that time in the show where we are taking your questions.
And hopefully answering them.
Yes, hopefully answering them.
Okay. This is from Lori. She says, I noticed that I was able to manifest things easier when I was younger than now. Can you see what's up with that?
I'll take a look. But often, the younger we are, the less life experience we have, the less things have happened to us to make us expect the worst. So it's usually because somebody has just accumulated a bunch of negative life experiences and hasn't moved them out of their space. You almost need to create your energy as a clean slate in every moment, so that past experiences are not affecting future projections and future manifestations. So I'll take a look and see the younger version of you and the present time version of you. Well, actually, I'm seeing that that's just a belief it's a thought you keep on thinking, a belief that you have a belief that I was better when I was younger than I am now. And that then becomes your truth. So it would probably be helpful to stop believing that you were better at it when you were younger than you are now. And I'm actually seeing that your vibration's a lot higher now than when you were younger. And so in some senses, I'm seeing that statement's not true. It's as true as you make it if you keep on thinking it. And I'm seeing you wanted different things when you were younger than you want now. But I'm also seeing that you are getting an accurate reflection in your reality that's mirroring what you're putting out, and you're rejecting a lot of it. No, that's not me. No, that's not right. Instead of going, oh, okay, well, that showed up that way. What is it about me that has resulted in that? All right, next question.
Jeanette just responded to your reading. She says, yes, that grounding and centering meditation is great, but haven't been able to find it recently. Thank you for the link and for taking a look. You're right. I'm having a hard time staying neutral. Yeah. Andorini says she feels the same way as Lori does. Do you want to take a quick look to see if the same applies?
Sure, yeah. Let's take a look and see. So Anderini feels like she was a better manifestor when she was younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it just feels, well, it's part of the same information, but not the same answer as I gave to Laurie, in that it just looks like when you were younger, you were full of possibilities and you believed in the possibilities. And as you've gone through challenges and struggles in your life, you've accumulated the energy of those things, and you've replaced the belief anything's possible with the belief that it's really hard for me to create what I want. So you could look at that younger version of you and say, what did she believe? What was her energy? What was she believing about herself? What was she believing about life that I'm not believing now? And use that as a guide to let go of self-limiting beliefs that you're operating from in present time. And again, like I was saying to Laurie, we kind of need to create our energy like imagine just that you are a clean slate in every moment, you know, that the past isn't affecting your now, that you've got a completely clean slate with a clean, clear energy to focus in any way that you want in asking for anything that you want, untainted by the past.
Wonderful. Thank you. So this is from Brian. Brian says, lately I have been seeing flashes of light and images, for lack of a better term, in my peripheral vision. I think it might be like guides or angels. Could you confirm what I may be seeing? I suspect when I was younger, I may have been able to see these things directly, but for some reason, block that off. I'd love to know what you see with that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it feels like there's an awareness there in your peripheral vision. And some of it is, well, let's see how much of it is specific to you. I'm seeing that your guides are not really in your peripheral vision. Your guides are right there. Hey, Brian, here I am. And so in the peripheral vision thing, it feels more like, what I'm seeing is like flashes. Well, you said flashes of light, didn't you? It's sort of little blinking in and out of this dimension, just little energetic artifacts. So our eyesight, our perception is tuned to a particular set of wavelengths and is governed by what we believe this world is as well. And it reminds me of the tale of, I think it's when Columbus and the Spanish Armada was approaching South America for the first time. I might not have the facts exactly right. The Native Americans did not see the ships because they'd never seen a ship. In their belief system, such a thing didn't exist. So in a way, we're pre-programmed to see certain things and not see other things. And it just looks like the edges between reality are bleeding through a little bit, and you're catching it with your peripheral vision. And some of it is beings, interdimensional beings that are flashing in and out of our reality. I'm not sure that any of them are special or particular to you, because when I ask to see your guides, they're just right there. They're just right there. And for some reason, some of this at the sides to me looks like it's some of it blue. One of your main guides is a green vibration, and it's more in front of you. All right, next.
I have a question.
Okie doke.
Oh, I remember what it was now. I just went blank. So I understand clairvoyance. I understand how it works and what it is, but you can see our guides. You can see other people's guides.
Mhm.
I thought that was kind of a personal thing.
No, I could see somebody's mother, father, cousin, brother, sister if they came to visit. It's just the same. They're energy beings. And with your clairvoyance, you can see energy, which includes energy beings. So absolutely, I can see other people's guides, and everyone can learn to see guides.
I didn't know that.
I'm
See, you
surprised
learned
you didn't
something.
know that, Corey.
Yeah, you learn something new every day, right? This is from SG. SG says, how can I get out of being in fight or flight mode all the time?
Okay, well, download the grounding and centering meditation that Corey just posted. Let's have a look. I mean, there are different things. One is to come for an energy healing. So there are some things that I can do, for example, to just adjust the adrenals and to adjust the amygdala in the brain a little bit, to just down regulate the fight or flight response on a physiological basis. But in terms of what you can do is meditate, ground, and center. Grounding and centering gives you seniority with your body. The fight or flight response is in your body. It's hormonal, it's connected to your adrenal glands. And so if you, by meditating and grounding and coming into the body and sitting in the center of your head, which is the control center of the brain, by the way, then you can start to take charge of the reality and have dominion over the body. So meditation is the best way I know how. And then perhaps look also at the causes of this fight or flight response. What's triggering it? And so is it something in your present time reality, like you have a busy job and you've got 10 bosses and they're all giving you work to do, jump, do this, jump, do that, jump, do this, jump, do that? Or is it some kind of PTSD thing where something happened to you in the past and you never got over it, and so little triggers are triggering that response? There could be different reasons for it, but what can you do? Learn to meditate. Okay.
Thank you. So just a comment from Brian. Brian says, some of it's blue. That makes so much sense. My beliefs about multi-dimensions, timelines have expanded. So it makes sense that I could begin to see that amazing, to see that come amazing. I remember that story about the Indians. Only the shamans could see the ships because they had a wider belief system. Yeah, they had no point of reference at all. Not only had they never seen ships, they've never heard of ships. They couldn't conceive ships. They couldn't conceive other people, coming from, they couldn't conceive anything that big on the water. So it was a whole bunch of belief systems that they had to overgo before they saw it. Okay, this is from Jeanette. Jeanette says, I have another question if there's time. Are there any messages from my manifestation guide?
Good question. Okay. Well, your manifestation guide, what I'm seeing, your manifestation guide sort of sitting, drinking a cup of tea, quite calmly, not worried about anything. but there's this landscape which the guide is calling the event horizon. I don't know whether that's a military term, but the event horizon. And the guide is sipping tea because the guide is confident of that the things will appear on the event horizon. So it feels to me like that's just a message of calm, quiet confidence, which is it's sort of like, relax, it's coming, it will come, everything's fine. It's allow yourself to enjoy the moment. That's what the guide seems to be saying.
Okay, there's no more questions on the queue, and there's really not a lot of time left anyway. So if you had one more piece of advice for anybody, what would it be around manifestation, Dr. Leslie?
It's all about energy. I mean, we've talked about it at length in the show, but it's all about energy and ultimately about you knowing yourself and knowing what is your energy vibration, what energy signals are you carrying around, are you broadcasting? And if your life is not showing up in the way that you want, you can change it by changing your energy. So what are you thinking, feeling, believing, vibrating within your system that is out of accord with what it is that you're wanting to invite into your life? And that's a simple recipe, really, for manifesting the life of your dreams.
Good. Thank you so much. And we'll be back next week, same time, same channel, I guess. Are you going to be here with us, Dr. Leslie?
I shall.
Is that your intention?
That's my intention.
Okay. Good. I have a new set of headphones, and their sound, what do you call it? The sound diminishing. And so all I hear myself echoing inside of my own head. It's very weird. But anyway, that's it for tonight. We'll see you all next week. Thank you all for your participation tonight, and hopefully you'll be back next week.
Bye,
Bye bye
everybody.
now.